You've heard these voices a lot. In fact, there's a very real chance that your favorite hero, your favorite villain, a random shopkeeper, a talking sword, a Pokemon, and at least 3 background characters were all voiced by the same person. Japanese voice actors, known as seiyuu, are built different. Some of them don't just have long careers, they have careers so massive that once you start paying attention, you can't unhear them. They're everywhere, across anime, video games, movies, commercials, drama CDs, narrations, and even things you never realized needed a voice. And today, we're looking at the absolute legends, the voice actors with the most roles across all platforms. Not just anime. Not just games. Everything. These are the people who clearly never said no to a role, who somehow had time to voice 10 characters in 1 year, and then did it again the next year. Some of them have hundreds of credited roles. Others are so prolific that entire generations grew up hearing them without ever learning their names. If you've watched anime for more than 5 minutes, you've heard these voices. Probably yesterday. Possibly today. So get ready to recognize voices you didn't know you recognized, question how one human can physically talk this much, and discover the seiyuu who might actually be holding the entire anime industry together with their vocal cords. Let's begin. Takahito Koyasu is widely regarded as the most prolific voice actor in Japanese entertainment history, with a career spanning over 3 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, dubbing, narration, and drama CDs. Active since the late 1980s, Koyasu has become famous not just for his sheer output, but for his instantly recognizable voice and extreme versatility. He is best known for voicing Deo Brando in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, a role that cemented his legacy. His dramatic delivery, theatrical pauses, and iconic laugh turned Deo into one of anime's most unforgettable villains. That performance alone has influenced how anime antagonists are voiced to this day. Beyond Deo, Koyasu has portrayed an enormous range of characters. He voiced Shinsuke Takasugi in Gintama, Zeke Yeager in Attack on Titan, Rosval L. Mathers in Re:Zero, Toji Fushiguro in Jujutsu Kaisen, Aokiji in One Piece, Clayman in That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and Handsome Jack in the Japanese dub of Borderlands. He has also appeared as countless nobles, gods, villains, mentors, and eccentric side characters across nearly every major anime franchise. What makes Koyasu stand out is his range within a narrow vocal identity. Even when his voice is recognizable, his characters feel completely different, shifting effortlessly between charismatic villains, comedic oddballs, calm strategists, and unhinged antagonists. This reliability and flexibility have made him a casting favorite for decades. By the 2000s and 2010s, Takahito Koyasu reached a point where fans began joking that he voices half of anime, a reputation earned through relentless consistency rather than hype. Few voice actors have shaped the sound of modern anime as deeply or as broadly. If you've watched anime, you've heard Takahito Koyasu. Probably more times than you realize. Miyuki Sawashiro is one of the most accomplished and recognizable voice actresses in Japan, with a career spanning over 2 decades, and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, films, narration, and dubbing. She debuted at an unusually young age in the late 1990s, and quickly became known for a vocal range that few performers can match. She is perhaps most famously associated with Kurapika in Hunter x Hunter, a role that showcases her ability to balance calm intelligence with emotional intensity. She also voiced Shinon in Sword Art Online 2, Fujiko Mina in Lupin 3, Kelty Sturluson in Durarara, Bishamon in Narigami, Kanbaru Suriga in the Monogatari series, and Raiden Shogun/I in Genshin Impact. Each of these characters sounds distinct, despite coming from the same performer. Sawashiro is especially respected for her control and subtlety. Unlike voice actors known for exaggerated performances, she excels at restrained, natural delivery, making her a frequent choice for complex, emotionally layered characters. She can move effortlessly between masculine, feminine, youthful, and mature roles, sometimes voicing characters that fans don't even realize are hers until they check the credits. Beyond anime, Sawashiro has an enormous presence in video games, narration, and Japanese dubbing of foreign films, further contributing to her reputation as one of the most prolific voice talents in the industry. Her work as Fujiko Mina, in particular, placed her in the rare position of inheriting an iconic role and making it her own, earning widespread critical and fan acclaim. By the 2010s, Miyuki Sawashiro had established herself not just as a popular seiyuu, but as a benchmark for vocal versatility and professionalism. She is often cited as one of the most influential female voice actors of her generation. If you've played games, watched anime, or listened closely to modern Japanese media, you've heard Miyuki Sawashiro's voice. You just didn't always know it was her. Takahiro Sakurai is one of Japan's most recognizable voice actors, known for a career that spans more than 2 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, films, dubbing, and narration. Active since the mid-1990s, he became a staple of anime during the 2000s, especially for characters who are calm, intelligent, emotionally distant, or quietly intense. He is best known for voicing Cloud Strife in the Final Fantasy series, a role that made his voice instantly iconic among gamers worldwide. In anime, Sakurai portrayed Gyutomyoka in Demon Slayer, Suzaku Kururugi in Code Geass, Reigen Arataka in Mob Psycho 100, Griffith in Berserk, Rohan Kishibe in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Geto Suguru in Jujutsu Kaisen. Each of these roles highlights a different side of his range, from heroic restraint to charismatic instability. Sakurai's defining strength is controlled delivery. His voice often carries a composed, almost detached quality, which makes emotional breaks or dramatic shifts far more impactful when they happen. This has made him a go-to choice for characters who hide inner conflict beneath a calm surface, as well as villains whose politeness makes them more unsettling. Beyond anime, Sakurai has an enormous presence in video games and radio narration, and he is frequently cast in high-profile adaptations and long-running franchises. His ability to make even minimal dialogue feel deliberate and memorable has earned him a reputation as one of the most reliable and in-demand performers in the industry. By the 2010s, Takahiro Sakurai had become a voice fans could recognize instantly, even when the character was new. Whether he's playing a stoic swordsman, a charming liar, or a quietly dangerous antagonist, his performances consistently leave a lasting impression. If you've watched modern anime or played Japanese games, you've heard Takahiro Sakurai's voice. And chances are, you recognized it before the credits rolled. Shinichiro Miki is one of the most prolific and reliable voice actors in Japan, with a career spanning over 3 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, dubbing, narration, and drama CDs. Active since the early 1990s, he became a familiar presence in anime during the late 1990s and 2000s, especially in action, fantasy, and long-running franchise series. He is best known for voicing Roy Mustang in Full Metal Alchemist, a role that perfectly balances charm, authority, and emotional depth. Miki also voiced James in Pokémon, Kisuke Urahara in Bleach, Zabuza Momochi in Naruto, Lock-on Stratos in Mobile Suit Gundam 00, Kurs Weber in Full Metal Panic, and Toshinori Sato in Initial D. These roles alone span heroic leaders, comedic relief, tragic villains, and laid-back mentors. Miki's greatest strength is his natural, conversational delivery. His voice often feels relaxed and grounded, which makes his characters immediately approachable, even when they're dangerous or morally complex. This quality has made him especially effective as mentors, older brothers, commanders, and charismatic antagonists. Beyond anime, Shinichiro Miki has an enormous body of work in video games and foreign film dubbing, further contributing to his reputation as one of the industry's hardest-working performers. He frequently voices multiple characters within the same franchise or even the same series, a testament to both his range and his reliability. By the 2000s, Miki had become one of those voices anime fans could identify instantly without knowing his name, and by the 2010s, his resume was so extensive that fans began joking he was in everything. Few voice actors have contributed to as many iconic characters across as many major franchises. If you've watched anime for any length of time, you've heard Shinichiro Miki's voice. Probably more than you realize. Toshiyuki Morikawa is one of Japan's most iconic and instantly recognizable voice actors, with a career spanning more than 3 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, foreign film dubbing, narration, and commercials. Active since the late 1980s, Morikawa is known for a voice that carries authority, intensity, and unmistakable presence. He is perhaps most famously associated with Sephiroth in the Final Fantasy series, a role that helped define one of gaming's most legendary villains. In anime, he has voiced Minato Namikaze, Naruto's father, in Naruto, a role that surprises many fans once they make the connection. He also portrayed Light Yagami's father, Soichiro Yagami, in Death Note, Yoshikage Kira in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, is Shin Kurosaki in Bleach, Bondrewd in Made in Abyss, Dante in Devil May Cry, and Griffith in the Berserk film trilogy. Morikawa's greatest strength is his commanding vocal gravitas. He excels at characters who project leadership, menace, or emotional weight, whether they are heroic fathers, terrifying villains, or morally complex authority figures. His performances often carry a calm intensity that makes even quiet scenes feel powerful. Beyond anime and games, Morikawa is one of the most prominent Japanese dub actors for Hollywood films, famously serving as the Japanese voice of Tom Cruise for many years. This extensive dubbing work further solidified his status as a top-tier, industry-trusted performer. By the 2000s and 2010s, Toshiyuki Morikawa had become a voice audiences recognized instantly, even when they couldn't immediately place it. Realizing that he voiced Naruto's father often becomes one of those wait, really? Moments that makes his range even more impressive. If you've watched anime or played Japanese games, you've heard Toshiyuki Morikawa's voice. And once you notice it, you'll never unhear it. Tetsuo Genda is one of the most veteran and respected voice actors in Japanese entertainment, with a career spanning more than 5 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, foreign film dubbing, narration, and commercials. Active since the early 1970s, Genda helped shape what authoritative and commanding voices in anime would sound like for generations. He is best known for voicing Optimus Prime in the Japanese Transformers franchise, a role that made his deep, powerful voice instantly iconic. In anime and games, Genda portrayed Kurama in Naruto, Chief Gun-I in Digimon Adventure, Hajime Sato in Rurouni Kenshin, Ryuken Ishida in Bleach, Katsuhiko Jin-I in El Hazard, and Kumagawa Misogi in Medaka Box. These roles span wise mentors, imposing warriors, and authoritative leaders. Genda's defining trait is his resonant bass voice, often used to give characters a sense of strength, experience, or absolute authority. He is frequently cast as commanders, fathers, kings, generals, and legendary figures, roles that benefit from his calm but overwhelming presence. Outside of anime, Tetsuo Genda is a major figure in Japanese dubbing, lending his voice to countless Hollywood films and television series. His voice has been used so extensively in narration and commercials that many Japanese viewers recognize it even outside of fictional characters. By the time modern anime fans began paying attention to voice actors, Tetsuo Genda had already voiced multiple generations worth of iconic characters. His influence is so foundational that many of the deep, powerful anime voices that followed are measured against his. If you've watched anime, played classic games, or seen Japanese dubbed films, you've heard Tetsuo Genda's voice. Long before you realized who he was. Tomokazu Sugita is one of Japan's most recognizable and prolific voice actors, with a career spanning over 2 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, radio, and narration. Active since the late 1990s, Sugita became a defining voice of the 2000s and 2010s, especially for characters who balance deadpan humor, quiet intensity, and sudden emotional outbursts. He is best known for voicing Gintoki Sakata in Gintama, a role that perfectly captures his range, comedic timing, and improvisational style. Sugita also voiced Kion in The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Joseph Joestar in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Escanor in The Seven Deadly Sins, Katakuri in One Piece, Kazuhiro Miller in Metal Gear Solid, Chrome in Fire Emblem Awakening, and Ragna the Blood Edge in Blaze Blue. These roles span comedy, action, tragedy, and larger-than-life heroism. Sugita's defining strength is his natural, conversational delivery, which makes even absurd dialogue feel grounded and relatable. He can switch effortlessly between sarcastic humor and raw emotional weight, often within the same scene. This has made him a favorite for protagonists who feel self-aware, exhausted, or slightly unhinged. Beyond anime and games, Sugita is known for his radio work and unscripted commentary, where his personality shines and has earned him a dedicated fan base. His reputation as both a skilled performer and an entertaining personality has helped solidify his long-term relevance in the industry. By the time fans start noticing his voice, they usually realize he's already played half their favorite characters. Tomokazu Sugita isn't just prolific, he's memorable, and once you recognize him, you start hearing him everywhere. If you've laughed, cried, or shouted yes at an anime scene, there's a good chance Tomokazu Sugita was involved. Junichi Suwabi is one of Japan's most distinctive and recognizable voice actors, with a career spanning more than 2 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, narration, and radio. Active since the late 1990s, he quickly became known for a voice that is deep, smooth, and effortlessly cool, making him a frequent choice for charismatic leaders, intimidating rivals, and quietly dangerous characters. He is best known for voicing Archer in the Fate/Stay Night series, a role that perfectly showcases his controlled intensity and emotional restraint. Suwabi also voiced Shota Aizawa, Eraserhead, in My Hero Academia, Ryaman Sukuna in Jujutsu Kaisen, Viktor Nikiforov in Yuri on Ice, Abakio in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Grim Joe Jaeger-Jacques in Bleach, and Laurent Thierry in The Great Pretender. These characters range from composed mentors to outright monsters, yet all carry his unmistakable vocal signature. Suwabi's defining strength is vocal presence. He doesn't need to shout to dominate a scene, his delivery is often calm, deliberate, and intimidating precisely because of its restraint. This makes him especially effective as villains, antiheroes, and authority figures who feel dangerous even when they're standing still. Beyond anime, Junichi Suwabi has a massive footprint in video games, including roles in major franchises such as Final Fantasy, Tekken, and Grand Blue Fantasy. He is also well known for his radio work, where his relaxed charisma contrasts sharply with many of his darker on-screen roles. By the 2010s, Suwabi had become a voice fans could identify instantly, sometimes within a single line of dialogue. His combination of smooth delivery, menace, and control has made him one of the most consistently in-demand voices in modern anime. If a character sounds cool, dangerous, and like they absolutely know what they're doing, there's a good chance it's Junichi Suwabi. Tomokazu Seki is one of Japan's most versatile and enduring voice actors, with a career spanning over 3 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, dubbing, narration, and radio. Active since the early 1990s, Seki has built a reputation for being able to voice almost anything, from loud, hot-blooded protagonists to quiet, unsettling antagonists, often within the same year. He is best known for voicing Domon Kasshu in Mobile Fighter G Gundam, a role that defined an entire generation of super robot anime fans. He also portrayed Kaname Ogi in Code Geass, Gilgamesh in the Fate series, Sato in Agent Human, Toji Suzuhara in Neon Genesis Evangelion, Luigi in the Japanese Super Mario series, and Ryuji Sakamoto in Persona 5. These characters alone demonstrate his remarkable range. Seki's defining strength is vocal adaptability. His voice can be explosive and emotional one moment, then cold, restrained, or unnervingly calm the next. This flexibility has made him a frequent choice for both heroic leads and morally complex or outright dangerous characters. Beyond anime, Tomokazu Seiki has an enormous presence in video games and foreign film dubbing, contributing to his reputation as one of the industry's most consistently employed performers. He is also well known for his radio work, where his natural energy and personality shine through. By the time most fans realize how many characters he's played, they've already heard him dozens of times. Tomokazu Seiki isn't just prolific, he's foundational, a voice that has quietly shaped anime across multiple eras. If you've watched anime since the 1990s, you've heard Tomokazu Seiki. You just didn't realize how often. Norio Wakamoto is one of the most instantly recognizable and legendary voices in Japanese entertainment, with a career spanning more than 4 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, narration, and dubbing. Active since the 1970s, Wakamoto is famous for a voice so powerful and theatrical that it has become iconic in its own right. He is best known for voicing Cell in Dragon Ball Z, a role that cemented his legacy as one of anime's most memorable villains. He also portrayed Vicious in Cowboy Bebop, Charles Z. Britannia in Code Geass, Alexander Anderson in Hellsing, Oden Nobunaga in Sengoku Basara, Joe's father in Naruto, and Megatron in Transformers. Each of these characters showcases his signature booming delivery and dramatic cadence. Wakamoto's defining trait is his commanding, exaggerated vocal style. His performances are often loud, intense, and filled with theatrical flair, turning even simple lines into unforgettable moments. This made him especially popular for villains, tyrants, madmen, and larger-than-life authority figures. Over time, Wakamoto's voice became so distinctive that anime began leaning into it deliberately, sometimes casting him specifically to amplify drama or parody intensity. His delivery has been referenced, imitated, and memed by fans and creators alike. Beyond anime, Norio Wakamoto has a vast career in narration and dubbing, where his voice has been used to sell everything from epic trailers to everyday products. Few voice actors have achieved a level of recognition where their voice alone becomes part of pop culture. If a character is shouting with absolute conviction and somehow stealing the scene, there's a good chance it's Norio Wakamoto. And once you recognize his voice, you'll never forget it. Hikaru Midorikawa is one of the most enduring and recognizable voice actors in Japanese anime and gaming, with a career spanning more than 3 decades and hundreds of roles across anime, video games, drama CDs, and narration. Active since the late 1980s, he became especially prominent during the 1990s and early 2000s as a defining voice for cool-headed heroes and elegant rivals. He is best known for voicing Hiro Yui in Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, a role that helped introduce an entire generation of international fans to anime. Midorikawa also portrayed Marth in the Fire Emblem series, Zabusa Mamachi in Naruto, Gridman in SSSS. Gridman, Akira Mato in Tokyo Ghoul, Ayato Kamina in Gurren Lagann, and Tamaki Suoha in Ouran High School Host Club. These characters range from stoic warriors to charismatic leaders, highlighting his versatility. Midorikawa's defining strength is his smooth, composed delivery. His voice often carries a calm confidence that makes characters feel intelligent, reliable, and quietly dangerous when needed. This has made him a frequent choice for rival figures, elite fighters, princes, and tacticians, roles that benefit from restraint rather than volume. Beyond anime, Hikaru Midorikawa has an enormous presence in video games, particularly in long-running franchises like Fire Emblem, where his performance as Marth became iconic across multiple generations. His voice has remained consistently in demand due to its clarity, control, and timeless quality. By the time newer fans recognize his voice, they often realize they've been hearing it for years. Hikaru Midorikawa's performances may be understated, but their impact is lasting, shaping the sound of anime heroes for decades. If a character sounds calm, capable, and effortlessly cool, there's a strong chance it's Hikaru Midorikawa. So, if this video made you think, wait, that was the same voice actor? Congratulations, you've just unlocked a new curse. From legendary heroes to unhinged villains, wise mentors, deadpan comedians, and characters who absolutely stole the scene, these voice actors didn't just appear in anime, they quietly built it. Across anime, video games, movies, commercials, narration, and things that probably didn't need a voice but got one anyway. At this point, it's less about recognizing the voice and more about accepting the truth. If a character sounds cool, terrifying, emotional, dramatic, or suspiciously familiar, there's a solid chance one of these people showed up, read the script once, and nailed it forever. Somewhere out there, right now, one of them is voicing a main character, a side character, a background character, and possibly the narrator explaining what's happening, all in the same project. So the next time you watch anime and think, wow, that voice sounds familiar, just know you're probably right. And once you hear it, you will never unhear it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hardest working vocal cords in Japanese entertainment, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which voice actor fooled you the most. And remember, if you think anime uses the same voices over and over again, that's not a theory. That's just the credits rolling.
Thanks for watching and suggest any ideas for future projects. Support the channel with some of my epic merch through my Bonfire store, new designs coming soon, and the material is strong and soft, I can confirm that personally. Or buy me a pizza, links in description. Be sure to live and subscribe aiming for 1000 subs.